What's going on, and welcome back to once again. It's Chaos. It's Chaos. The man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour. Funky like a monkey. Okay. Ooh yeah. Just had to get that out. Sorry, I just got through watching the Macho Man DVD, so I'm kind of in that mode, in that zone. Can you dig it? Just right there. Anyway, we need to get to what is really important, and right now it's this is what I like to refer to as the greatest moments / again matches in WrestleMania history, as far as I'm concerned. Now I'm up to WrestleMania 16, so this is going to be WrestleMania 16 through 20. Now this video is probably going to be a little longer than the other one, so please don't hold it against me. I'll try to get through this as fast as I can without going off on a tangent or anything. Now here goes. I've already wasted a whole minute. The Hardcore Battle Royal at WrestleMania 16. The Hardcore title changed hands 10 times. This was kind of like the predecessor to the championship scramble matches, if you will, because the just like the scrambles, the title could change hands, and whoever had the title at the end was the champion. At the end of the I think it was 15 minutes, something like that. And so whoever was the champion at the end of the 15 minutes won. However, this was unlike this scramble, because the scramble starts off with 2, and every couple of minutes somebody else comes in. This one, they were all in it at the very beginning of it. So it was inventive at the time. Anyway, the triangle ladder match, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, you just can't get any better than that. I mean, these guys took years off of their lives and careers and not in that order. The 2 falls for 2 titles match. It was Kurt Angle, who was the Eurocontinental champion. He was the European champion and the Intercontinental champion at the same time. It was a triple threat match between Angle, Chris Jericho, and Chris Benoit, because he did exist and he was at a lot of WrestleManias. Of course, Jericho and Benoit both each took home a title apiece, and Kurt Angle left with nothing. Then you had the Fatal 4-Way, which is the first Fatal 4-Way ever, and the only Fatal 4-Way ever for a WWE title at a WrestleMania. Participants were the champion Triple H with Stephanie in his corner, The Rock with Vince in his corner, Mick Foley with Linda in his corner, The Big Show with Shane O'Mac in his corner, which the McMahon family was kind of divided, but all came together at the end. It was okay. Of course, Vince screwed The Rock and helped Triple H. On to WrestleMania 17, the Gimmick Battle Royal. Come on. What's better than the Gimmick Battle Royal? There's not very many things that's better than that. It was just awesome. And stupid at the same time. Isn't it funny how those two kind of go together? TLC, again, what can I say? What can I say? When I say the words WrestleMania and TLC, it just kind of all goes back. Longtime fans know what I'm talking about. Shane versus Vince, epic match. This is probably the best match that either one of them ever had at WrestleMania. By the way, Shane beats Vince, and Shane McMahon's undefeated at WrestleMania too, by the way. He's just not, his streak's not as long as The Undertaker's. Which brings me to my next point, The Undertaker versus Triple H. The match did happen. The Undertaker did beat Triple H in Houston at WrestleMania X7. X7. And then Austin Rock too, which again Vince screws The Rock and helps Austin. Which later Austin and Triple H formed the 2-man power trip, which was just really great. WrestleMania 18, Taker and Flair. Don't have to say no more. Proved that Flair could still go. That's all I'm saying. Rock Hogan, it proved that Hogan was still every bit as capable of magnifying something that probably shouldn't have been magnified and creating buzz. And he was just awesome. I hate Hogan still, by the way. And Triple H and Chris Jericho for the Undisputed title. I put this there because they had a really good match. It wasn't... I think as far as the match goes, it was a better match than Austin Rock, but it wasn't bigger than Austin Rock. But I still think the right match was main event, meaning went on last. Now, I don't, and for those of you who don't recall, The Rock and Hogan went on, and then the women's title match went on, and then the WWE title match went on. Now, if it was me, I would have done the women's title, and then the Austin Rock, and then the WWE title. But it was probably done right because it gave kind of a break. You know, they were really high for Rock and Hogan, and then they got to settle down for 10 minutes while the women did their thing in and out, and then previews, and then back to they were still hot for the main event, just not as hot. WrestleMania 19, Jericho and HBK is what I remember the most from that specific WrestleMania. Also, because they just stole the show. For me, they just absolutely stole the show. Plus, Austin Rock 3, by the way, which The Rock finally beat Stone Cold. Just it was Stone Cold's last match, and he knew it going in, and he went out with a magnificent bang. It was totally just awe-inspiring. Hogan and McMahon, that was just the match that, it wasn't really a good match. They both kind of suck, and they both kind of can't lead a match, so it was just kind of awkward watching them, but the match needed to happen, and it was good that it did. At WrestleMania, it needed to be there. But another match that I took was, I believe it was the first match on the card, and it gets overshadowed a lot for, I don't know why, but it was a really, really good match. Rey Mysterio challenging Matt Hardy for the Cruiserweight title. I don't give Matt Hardy a lot of credit nowadays. And when he was doing the V1 thing, that was awesome. V1! That was just awesome. I love the V1 gimmick. It was the only thing that ever got Matt Hardy the way over. And that match, they started off WrestleMania unbelievable, and probably nobody saw that match. With the way that match went, nobody saw it coming. Now we go on to WrestleMania 20, the return to Madison Square Garden. You couldn't have had it anywhere else. And I'm all for going back to Madison Square Garden every 10 years, because I think you need to relive how it started. And I think, going back to basically the roots of WrestleMania every 10 years, kind of for a nostalgia feeling, I'm all for it. I think it's great. I want to go to WrestleMania 30 in Madison Square Garden, although those tickets will probably be outrageously high. One of the best stories leading up to and then the match of WrestleMania, Chris Jericho and Christian. Look it up if you don't know exactly all the details behind it, because you need to. Go to Wikipedia. Go to all of these WrestleMania websites that showcase, that talk about it all the time. Evolution versus Rock and Sock is just for nostalgia. Goldberg and Lesnar was the worst match ever that you could have put on a WrestleMania card. It sucked. It was horrible. I had cared nothing about this. The only thing that made me care even a little bit was Stone Cold, and that wasn't enough to make me just really, 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 really care. It still sucked. Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle had a phenomenal match. A phenomenal match. That's one of those that's just will stand the test of time, and it will be on later DVDs, I hope. Maybe if they ever put out a Kurt Angle DVD, if he ever goes back to WWE, maybe if they'll do that. Anyway, and then Chris Benoit versus HBK versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight title. I mean, come on. A triple threat match at WrestleMania closed the show. It was phenomenal. It was totally phenomenal. But, you know, the powers that be put Benoit over, which I guess it was a good idea at the time, and it probably was. I've never been a real big Chris Benoit fan. I guess I've been more of a fan now since he's been gone, which is kind of sad to say. But, you know, Benoit, he was there, and it did happen. So, and then the embrace between Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero as WrestleMania goes off the air with Nancy, of course, and Benoit's kids in the ring was truly a sight to see. Now, that is part 3. Make sure that you stay tuned. Probably tomorrow I will upload part 4 of what I guess I should call Chaos's greatest WrestleMania moments. It's going to be WrestleMania 21 through 26. You had to add 26. I didn't want to do a whole video just for 26. So, and there's some pretty good stuff there. Like always. Deuces, people. Chaos.